Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to this cozy little corner of mine, my living room couch. This is Blue, who will be taking his casual naps throughout today, and I'm rocking a cockatoo hairdo. So, yeah, this today's episode or wisdom rant is part two to another one that I titled Is This Why My Feelings Have Been So Loud or Have Felt So Loud My Whole Life? And this is part two to that one. So if you haven't watched that one, it's not necessary, but it does hold some foundation as to what I will be talking about today. My name is Randy. I'm going to start doing that more, introducing myself because I'm creating community and I know your names, but I'm not quite sure you know mine. And maybe you do, but that's okay if you don't, too. And so I'm just going to go on my little tangent. Again, I tried to write things down. I try to be like everybody else. I'm like, oh, this is how people make podcasts, and this is how it's supposed to be done. I'm not going to do it that way because that is not the way in which my voice rides the rhythm. And so for those of you who have been with me and are watching my videos and come back here, thank you. And I also want to sincerely tell you how grateful I am that you have the patience to navigate me as I am brand newly navigating a lot of things, and I feel like a lot of which I say throughout my channel is me explaining myself like I am right in this moment. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys taking the time to get to know me. I hope to get to know each of you individually. And I'm feeling a little revved up today. So if I'm being funny with some funny accents and it's because yeah, I was feeling a little bit under the weather the last couple days. And yesterday, when you just let yourself go a little bit, you're like, fine, you want to eat the whole freaking jar of chocolate you just made? Do it. Fine. Let your inner child do it. And then I let myself do that. And this morning I woke up and was like ready to be the parent that I couldn't be the last couple of days for myself. It was like my inner child just needed to like eat the whole bag of Halloween candy and watch 1,000 episodes of the same TV show, even though you don't even know what's going on because it's just basically playing in the background of your mental chatter. And yeah, I really just like slumped into the slouchy, slumpy, flumpy vibes, and then I dragged my ass out the house this morning, went for a sauna, did the things that I knew were like semi uncomfortable, like, oh, I don't want to, but did them anyways. Got into the nature. Yeah, and I'm revved up. I'm revved up. Um, so who knows? I might make a couple of these today. Keep you posted. But hopefully y'all can hear me okay. I'm not Western. I mean, I do live on the West Coast, but I don't know where this Western y'all type ditty is coming from. I don't think I was listening to anything like, I don't know, so funny. But I really sound like I'm coming from how y'all would say the South. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying right now. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, Okay, let's get serious. Let's be serious. No, there's nothing to be serious about. We are just skin bags full of bones floating through cosmic vibrational reality that we perceive as real. And it's not. I mean, it is to an extent, but how real is it really? How real is it really? No, but all shits and gigs aside, I wanted to talk about Yeah, part two, emotional sensitivity, becoming aware of being emotionally sensitive, how to channel it, and maybe how to bring about awareness as to whether you are a highly sensitive individual or you know somebody that is highly sensitive, and what those kind of individuals, at least based from my own personal experience, navigate internally and what that looks and feels like. So hopefully I can remember everything I just said as I go on this little ramble. I'm feeling pretty clear-headed today, so I don't think my gapping out will be as frequent. I do gap out sometimes. I am starting to notice. I think it's the cannabis, which would make a lot of sense. And yeah, so we're gonna lay off, but it's something I only pick up when I'm like getting my period because I'm cranky and hormonal, and if I don't, then I'm gonna pop a cap in somebody's, you know, not literally, but you're I just get a little crazy. I get a little crazy. Yeah, I don't know where all of this is coming from. I don't know if it was because I finally just like made a decision inside myself that I'm gonna stop. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful segue. I love when my brain is a good seguer, good transitioner, you know? Okay, so before I lose that thought. Brrrah. Oh my God, don't lose it. Don't lose it. It's there. Okay, so I'm one of the things that came to me this morning that is beautifully segueing us into what I want to talk about is let me take a breath. Um I got anxiety in the sauna today, and and it came on so fast. You know, maybe it's 'cause this handsome feller walked in and I was like, "Oh shoot, I thought I was gonna be alone." And then I wasn't. And I'm already like navigating my own discomforts. Where I'm at when I smoke cannabis, it makes it really bad. My anxiety and coming hand in hand with being highly sensitive and now discovering that I'm highly sensitive, I I recognize that my anxiety becomes twice or if not 10 times as bad, right? While I was in the sauna, I could hear my heart beating. That's how bad my anxiety got. And so I stepped out, I took my cold shower and was just like, what's up? Like, what's up? Is it the guy? Is it because you thought you expected to be alone in the space and you're not? Is it that you're just like making a mountain up in your brain? Because that's something that, you know, happens. And and I couldn't quite pinpoint what was going on, but reflecting on it now, and what I want to segue into is that it feels like when I feel nervous or I feel uncomfortable and I try to make it go away, that makes it worse. So, if we're highly sensitive, and I feel like anxiety is a really good topic to speak about during through this because I think most of us that are highly sensitive probably have some intense anxiety or some level of anxiety, and for me, it's pretty severe, and I find that it worsens when I am trying to resist it and reject it. And so it's almost like the anxiety arises and the thoughts that go through my head is something's wrong with me. And that thought then triggers the anxiety spiral, right? I don't know if you have heard about this, but if you haven't, I highly recommend you check out um what's her name? She's a dopamine expert. I talk about it all the time because this one podcast just like changed my life. It made me realize where my addictions come from and that it's really like a dopamine um, imbalance in my brain due to a lot of my habits, right? So if we pick up our phone and we're scrolling and we're dopamine boost, dopamine boost, dopamine boost, the counteract, and go watch the podcast if you really want. You want it straight from the expert. But basically saying that when we hit a dopamine boost, right? I'm going to call it the dopamine button. It raises the dopamine, and then the equalizer in the brain responds in a way to basically flip it opposite. So it's not about, it doesn't equalize itself right away. It actually goes to the opposite extreme. And and so I'm definitely on a little bit of a tangent now, but this all feels significantly relative, because if we're highly sensitive, then that means there may also be this subtlety to how our dopamine is affected in our brain. And I don't know, go to the dopamine expert to really, I will leave the podcast below. Man, they should be paying me. I just keep dropping it in all my comments because it's really important for people um, who have struggled with addiction and anxiety and any, I think really any mental disorder. I feel like it holds benefit to have this information and to understand the way our brain chemicals work, because then we can navigate like what to do in order to have different brain chemicals, um like serotonin and melatonin, be released, and so not to trail myself down the wrong rabbit hole here, because it's easy when I'm firing like a energy bunny. um so just let me rein it in for a second here. And perhaps all this information is beneficial to somebody out there, I do feel in some way, shape, or form like whatever is coming out of my face is a direct channel, and a lot of the times I don't fully understand why the channel is so, excuse me, um, you know, crazy sometimes. And really like unrelated, but that's how life seems to work best, is when you just like follow the yellow brick road, meaning like sometimes it's a blue brick and sometimes it's yellow and sometimes it's green and sometimes it's orange. It's never gonna be just orange, just yellow, just blue, just red, just right. So I don't know who's talking right now, but I think I've just opened up the channel and it's flowing through me. But I'm gonna set the intention to talk about being highly sensitive and the things that I mentioned that I was going to talk about in the beginning of this video, or just a couple moments ago, because it is important to me that I fulfill my intentions. And so, in doing that, well, and if you think about it, okay, I'm going to try not to have conversations in my head right now, because I do this often where will start I will start sentences where I will finish the sentence that I start in my head and it comes out of my mouth, like you just watched. I did it twice. Okay. So I'm gonna get out of my head and get here with you guys. I'm sorry, I'm noticing on my something on my microphone I never noticed before, and then I'm wondering, did I do it? It's all these like little black specks on the inside of the foam. Ah, do I want to restart this video? How far are we in? 14 minutes? I don't even think I've talked about anything. Yeah, I think this was good for me to just get some direction. To be resumed.